The strongest killers in Rome ate barley and ash. Not meat, not glory, just survival. You've seen Gladiators on screen, Spartacus. Bare-chested, blood-soaked, roaring in rebellion against the Roman Empire. But here's what no Hollywood movie dares to tell you. The men who fought to the death in packed arenas weren't dining on feasts. They were shoveling barley mush and drinking a tonic of vinegar and ash. Not because it tasted good, but because it kept them alive. The Roman Empire fed its warriors like workhorses, not heroes. And yet somehow, these men became legends. This is the real story of how the most feared fighters in Roman history built muscle, madness, and revolution, one brutal bite at a time. And at the heart of it all, a man named Spartacus. Imagine this. You're half naked, chained, and shoved into a sand-covered training pit surrounded by screaming crowds and the stench of sweat and blood. You're not a warrior yet. You're property, meat on legs for the entertainment of Rome. And breakfast? Forget steak and eggs. You're lucky if your mush didn't have pebbles in it. Gladiator schools, known as loops, weren't gyms. They were punishment camps, disguised as performance training centers. You didn't sign up. You were sold, condemned, or captured. And once inside, your body was no longer yours, it belonged to the lanista, your owner. Miss a swing? That's a wooden sword to your ribs. Complain? That's a lash to the back. Your name? Gone. You get a number, maybe a nickname like Fatso or Bone Crusher if you're lucky. One guy in Pompeii was literally named Felix, which means lucky. He died in his first fight. Yeah, real lucky. Training was brutal. 8 hours a day of footwork, shield drills, sparring with wooden swords that weighed double the real ones. Why? Because Rome didn't want dead meat. It wanted theater. Gladiators weren't just fighters. They were living, bleeding, blockbuster entertainment. If you didn't kill, you had to act like you tried hard enough to impress the emperor. Fail to entertain, and thumbs down meant more than a movie rating. And in the middle of all this chaos, Spartacus. He wasn't just a gladiator. He was the glitch in the Matrix. A Thracian soldier turned rebel. Spartacus wasn't planning to die for cheers. He was planning to burn the whole damn system down. You'd think gladiators, Rome's celebrity warriors, feasted like kings, right? Wrong. They were basically fed like farm animals, with just enough calories to survive the bloodbath. The staple of a gladiator's diet? A thick, bland, gut-busting sludge called pulse. Think oatmeal if it had zero joy and all the personality of wet drywall. It was made of barley, spelt, and legumes, boiled into a sticky mess. No meat, no cheese, just carbs. A lot of them. Why? Because carbs build mass, and Rome wanted its gladiators thick. Not shredded abs, padding. That extra belly fat was armor. If you took a slash to the gut, fat slowed the blade. Abs, they got you dead faster. Ain't that the opposite of modern fitness? And protein? Forget protein shakes. Gladiators were nicknamed hordeari, or barley men. Meat was rare, maybe a post-battle bonus if you survived long enough to chew it. But the weirdest thing? They drank plant ash. Yeah, wood ash mixed with vinegar. Why? Calcium. Ash was rich in minerals, and it supposedly strengthened bones. Think of it as the ancient Roman Gatorade, except it tasted like fireplace leftovers. Modern studies on gladiator bones confirm it. They had dense bones, probably from that ash tonic and all the pounding drills. It wasn't glamorous, but it worked. The goal wasn't six-pack abs, it was to be hard to kill. Spartacus? He ate the same mush, but where others saw porridge, he saw fuel for revolution. In the blood-soaked dirt of Capua, a slave with nothing became a name history would never forget. Spartacus. Not born of nobility, not schooled in strategy. He was a Thracian, a man carved from war, captured by Rome, stripped of freedom, and thrown into a gladiator school like a beast into a cage. They tried to break him, with chains, with beatings, with the same tasteless barley porridge every day. But they forgot something. You can cage a man's body, but if you feed his rage long enough, you build a storm. Trained to kill for Roman entertainment, Spartacus wasn't just learning how to swing a blade, he was studying. The layout of the arena, the guards' movements, the routine, the patterns. And when the time came, he unleashed hell. In 73 BC, Spartacus and about 70 other gladiators broke out, not with swords, but with kitchen knives and cleavers. Imagine the irony. The tools used to carve meat now, carving freedom. They slaughtered their way out and disappeared into the hills. Not just to hide, but to recruit. Slaves, shepherds, farmers, the forgotten people of Rome. He fed them barley, gruel, and steel. And under Spartacus, they became an army, 70 strong turned into 70,000. He wasn't just fighting for his life anymore. He was leading a rebellion that shook the very foundations of Rome. No noble birth. No senatorial armor. Just fire, grit, and a stomach full of barley. That's what legends are made of. 2 warriors, 2 diets, 2 destinies. On one side, the Roman legionnaire, a soldier of the empire, backed by gold, logistics, and military precision. His diet? Tactical, calculated. Sustained by the mighty panis militaris, hardtack bread so dense it could double as a weapon. They marched on rations of wheat, cheese, vinegar, salted pork, and dried fruits. Everything engineered for long campaigns and longer conquests. Bland? Yes. Efficient? Absolutely. Fuel for empire. Now, enter the Gladiator, Rome's caged beast. Not a soldier, a spectacle. Their food wasn't designed for speed or conquest, it was designed for survival in the arena. They were fed barley and legumes, mostly beans and lentils. Why? Because barley packed carbs like a war elephant, and lentils gave protein without meat. It built bulk, made gladiators thick, not lean. They weren't ripped for the crowd, they were padded for protection. That extra fat, it helped them bleed less in battle. Yeah, gladiator abs are a Hollywood lie. These guys were walking tanks, not fitness models. Meanwhile, legionnaires trained for campaigns across continents. Gladiators trained for death in front of 50,000 screaming Romans with thumbs that decided your fate. 2 meals, 2 worlds. The soldier ate to march, the gladiator ate to survive. And yet, both were weapons of Rome. But here's the twist. One fought for Caesar's glory, the other for his own damn freedom. And guess which one shook the empire to its core? Spartacus didn't just break his chains, he turned slave rations into soldier fuel. Because it's not what's on the plate. It's the fire in your gut. Think you could survive a day as a gladiator? Forget the Netflix glamour. This wasn't slow-mo sword fights and sculpted abs. This was blood, sweat, and barley, every damn day. So the next time someone tells you gladiators were just savage killers, tell them about the barley and beans, about the ash-toned power porridge that fueled revolts and built legends. Tell them about Spartacus, the slave who became a storm, not by eating meat and muscle, but by mastering endurance, pain, and discipline. Because gladiators weren't just fighting for glory, they were fighting for something far more dangerous, freedom. And if you think that was intense, wait until you meet the warriors who trained in silence, ate in shadows, and feared nothing, not even death. Their secret? A pitch-black bowl of mystery known only as Melosomos, the Spartan black broth. Brutal, legendary, disgusting, delicious. So click the next video and ask yourself, could you survive the diet of a Spartan? Watch. The brutal Spartan black broth that fueled 300 if you dare.